This is the complete audiobook of how the Great Mother Goddess emerged, the mystery of the Mother Goddess. God has been worshipped as a mother in different parts of the world since ancient times. In Goa, we have a sandstone statue of the Mother Goddess, which is several millennia old. Throughout India, there are 51 locations devoted to worshipping the Mother Goddess. These centers are known as Shakti Pitas. Shakti means power and Pita means seat. These are literally seats of power. Many people believe that this is the oldest form of religious devotion. Archaeologists have found idols representing the Mother Goddess all over the world. Many of these images have simplistic features. Some scholars believe that in the ancient proto-history of humanity, men were astounded by women's fecundity. Men did not know that they too had a role in the process of procreation. People therefore attributed supernatural qualities to fertility and worshipped the Mother Goddess. In the early iconography of the Mother, these aspects are very pronounced. All over the world, different names are given to the goddess. In Egypt, she is Isis. In Greece, she is equated with Aphrodite or Demeter. Some early societies were also matriarchal, and women were the heads of the family. We do not know precisely when the social structure became patriarchal. Still, there are ample opportunities to demonstrate that early civilizations allocated a lot of importance to the role of the mother. For example, there were rishis, one who were known because of their mothers. There is Satyakam Jabala, whose mother's name was Jabala. The Adityas, or the sons, are suckled because their mother's name was Aditi. The Dayatas, or the demons, also took their names from their mother Diti. All the Pandava brothers were called Kunteya after their mother Kunti. Arjuna was also called Partha because his mother Kunti had another name, Prutha. Rama is also called Kausalya after his mother Kausaya. His brother Lakshman is sometimes called Saumitri or Sumitra Nandan after his mother Sumitra. The Ramayana's heroine, Sita, was also a goddess. None can endure like her, for Sita is also regarded as the daughter of the earth. In one version of the Ramayana, it is she who kills Ravana, the demon king. Krishna also is given names from his mothers, Devaki, who gave birth to him, and Yashoda, who raised him. In some villages, women still honor Gauri, the divine consort of Shiva. There is an all-female festival which goes on for several days, during which the married women return to their parental home. The festival involves singing, dancing, and the celebration of womanhood. The earth is also our mother. She was worshipped in the past and is still revered today. The moon is also a female goddess. The rest of the planets, except Venus, are considered to be male. The moon also has a strong connection with the reproductive physiology of women. There are other associations, but I do not want to deal with superstitions. In India, almost all the societies worshipped the mother in the beginning. They worshipped the mother as the goddess of fertility and as a goddess of wealth. The mother is Shakti, or power, in India. In Goa, we have a massive sculpture of the Mother Goddess, which is thousands of years old. There are three forms of the Mother. One is Mahalakshmi, the second is Saraswati, and the third is Mahakali. There are also other forms, and each god also has a female aspect. This female aspect represents the power of that specific god. For example, Aindri represents the power of Indra. Another example is Maheshwari, who embodies the power of Maheshwara or Shankara. There are several other additional forms, some of which are foreign and others are associated with tribal deities. There are also forms of the Mother Goddess based on actual people that have been deified later in history and have a historical background. Meenakshi of Madurai was one such historical figure that was deified later. Then there is Sharadamba Temple at Shrungeri, which tells us how Sharada fought a verbal battle with Sri Shankaracharya when her husband was defeated. It is believed that Adi Shankara built the temple in memory of Sharada. The idols of the Mother Goddess have a diverse range of appearances. Many of them are detailed, while others possess minimal features at all. The Mother Goddess has many forms, including some of whom may have initially been tribal women. There are stories woven around these figures, which indicate a tribal origin. One form of the goddess is known as Meriai. Whenever epidemics and other disasters strike any village, it is called a round of merry eye. She is an apotropaic deity and is worshipped to prevent epidemics and catastrophes from occurring. In my childhood, I once saw people coming to our village, begging in the name of Kadak Lakshmi. The male member of one of these families wore female garments and held a lasso in his hand. The female had an open chest in which an idol of the goddess was kept. She would play the drum while the male flagellated himself with the lasso. This act appeared terrible to us because we could see all the scars on his body. We called him Kadak Lakshmi, but he is also known as Podrak. Families who belong to a particular caste perform this act. In modern times, however, there has been an awakening amongst the people, and these shows are no longer performed. In other places, anthills are worshipped as the mother. Some areas even use large, simple stones that are kept in the sanctum sanctorum, where they are decorated. Eyes are often added, or a mask is used in these instances of goddess worship. I belong to Kolhapur, which is one of the Shakti Pithas. There is a 3-temple building dedicated to the goddess Mahalakshmi, which is 1,300 years old. Here Mahalakshmi is worshipped along with Mahakali and Mahasaraswati. There is a book written in Sanskrit which is of a similar age. Marathi translations of this book also exist. Later I went to Pondagoa, where many temples were dedicated to the mother goddess. Shantadurga, Mahalakshmi, Kamakshi and Malasa are the primary forms of the goddess there. Almost every village in Goa has a temple dedicated to the mother goddess. Different names, such as Navadurga or Vijay Durga, are occasionally used, but they are the same. The sacred anthills, known as Santeri, are also sometimes worshipped in the villages. Most of these temples are managed by the Saraswat community. Recently, there was a controversy about the Navadurga temple in Madkai. The temple management wanted to install a new idol in place of the old one, which is centuries old. The villagers were opposed to this decision. Then there was a mass movement by the people against the trustees of the temple. Currently, there is a case going on in Ponda Court. The hearings continued for days together, and judgment is still awaited. Circumstances such as these indicate that people are very sensitive about the mother goddess. There have also been banners declaring Amki Murti Amka Jai, which means, we want our idol. I have been a devotee of the mother goddess for more than 40 years. There is a Sanskrit book known as the Durga Saptashati, also known as the Devi Mahatmya, which is believed to be a part of a Purana. This may be true. There are 700 shlokas in the book, which roughly contains 3 sections and 13 chapters. It reads like a novel, and every chapter is full of thrilling suspense. In Sanskrit, at the beginning of the holy book, it cites some rituals to perform, which are described in the first part. Then the Saptashati begins. Each section of the book has a presiding deity. The first section is presided over by Sri Mahakali. The second section is presided over by Sri Mahalakshmi, and the third part is presided over by Sri Mahasaraswati. Each chapter is also connected to a deity, all of which are different forms of the mother goddess. The goddess appears when evil forces overcome the good forces and, as a consequence, the world becomes powerless, succumbing to evil. At this point, the mother goddess is invoked and she appears in multiple forms, slaying the opposing demonic forces. The goddess is also connected to male gods, for in the scriptures every god has a consort, sometimes there are 2 or more. Lakshmi is Vishnu's consort, Parvati is Shiva's, and Saraswati is Brahma's consort. They are all forms of the mother goddess, who is Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati or Mahakali. The names may differ, but the goddess is one and the same. The story of Sri Lakshmi. Lakshmi is Vishnu's consort. Vishnu resides in Vaikuntha. Brahma is given the task of creation in the Holy Trinity, Shiva that of destruction, and Vishnu preserves the current state of existence. Vishnu is believed to rest in Kshirasagar, or the ocean of milk. There he lies on a serpent with 1,000 heads. Lakshmi is awake, and she assists her husband loyally. It is said that when the divine beings churned the ocean, many jewels spilled out. Lakshmi was among them. The gems were to be equally divided, but the divine beings took all of them. Lakshmi emerged sitting on a lotus. and likewise is often depicted as standing on a lotus. When Lakshmi appeared, all beings desired her, but she had already made a decision. Lakshmi approached with a garland and placed it around Vishnu's neck. This is how she became Vishnu's divine consort. Lakshmi has many other names. She is sometimes known as Padmavati, Kamala, Padmahasta, and Vishnupriya. At other times she is called Rama. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth and prosperity. She and Mahalakshmi are different. However, as the embodiment of the mother goddess, they are both the same. Whenever Vishnu incarnates on the earth, Lakshmi also incarnates. With Rama, she was Sita, and with Krishna, she was Rukmini. These two gods are inseparable. The story of Saraswati. Saraswati was born to Brahma, the god of creation. Later, she became Brahma's wife. Because Brahma married his daughter, he is not worshipped. Saraswati is described as the goddess of learning and is honored in schools throughout India. She is depicted as sitting on a white lotus or swan, holding a book and a veena, which is a stringed musical instrument. She is also the goddess of performing arts, especially classical. The story of Parvati. Parvati is Shiva's second wife. Previously, Shiva was married to Sati, who was, in fact, an earlier incarnation of Parvati. The two goddesses are the same. Sati was a princess. Her father conducted a fire ritual and insulted Shiva by refusing to invite him. Out of anger towards her father, Sati immolated herself and was later reborn as Parvati. The name Parvati refers to her being a daughter of Himalaya, the mountain. The word Parvat means mountain. Parvati is, therefore, a daughter of the mountain. She is also sometimes called Girija. When she came of age, Parvati did penance as she wanted to attract the attention of Shiva so that he would become her husband. Shiva and Parvati have two sons, Kartikeya and Ganesh. Like Lakshmi, Parvati also has many other names, including Gauri, Uma, and Girija. These three goddesses, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Parvati, are the consorts of the Holy Trinity. The mother cult also encompasses matrikas, yoginis, and the worship of rivers. The river Ganga, Ganges for example, originates from heaven. When Ganga descended from the celestial realm, Shiva offered the locks of his hair to assist with her descent. Ganga is the most adored of the rivers. She is also the absolver of sins. She was brought in by Bhagirath, and is therefore called Bhagirati at times. Ganga also appears as a character in the Mahabharata. Bhishma, one of the central characters, is Ganga's son. As for the other river goddesses, Yamuna is the sister of Yama, the god of death. Lord Sri Krishna is associated with this river. Saraswati is a river that has vanished into thin air. Sindhu gave her name to India. Narmada is the only river whose mere sight removes all sins. Kaveri, Krishna, and Godavari are the South Indian rivers. These rivers are worshipped literally. When referring to Ganga or Yamuna, the North Indians respectfully say Gangaji or Yamunaji. In addition to the river goddesses, there are water nymphs called Sat Asara, who live in water. There are also yoginis. They are 64 in number. Mother worship in other countries. The Babylonians worshipped the mother in the form of two sisters. One was Ishtar, the bestower of life, and the other was Ereshkigal, the goddess of death, who ended lives. The Vikings worshipped Freya, or Freya, the goddess of fertility. The day Freya is named after her. Likewise, Abemana, the day Freya, is named after her. The Roman goddess Venus was also associated with fertility. Interestingly, Friday, the day named after Freya, is also regarded as sacred by worshippers of the mother. The Egyptians also praised the mother goddess in several forms. The most famous of these was Isis. Nut, the goddess of the sky, gave birth to divine beings. She closely resembles Aditi, the mother of the gods in Hindu mythology. The Sumerians worshipped Ninhusaga, Ninma, Damgalnuna, Nintu, and Jamu. These goddesses married male gods and had a significant role to play whenever a crisis occurred. Likewise, the Greeks worshipped Hera and Demeter, the Romans worshipped Tellus or Terra Mater, Mother Earth, the Aztecs worshipped Tosai, goddess of purification, healing, etc., and the Yoruba religion worshipped Iansan and Oyes. In Christianity, Mary is revered as the mother of Jesus. The first episode props up Charita. I. The killing of Madhu and Kaitabaha. Salutations to Chandika. Markandeya said, I shall tell you about how the son of Sun God, the eighth Manu called Savani, was born. Listen to how Savani became the master of Manvantara by the grace of goddess Mahamaya. In a Manvantara called Savanik, there was a king named Surath in the Chaitra clan. He cared for his subjects like a father, but then a Kolavidwansi king became his enemy. Turatha fought a battle with him. Even though their army was not that strong, the enemy defeated him. Harassed by the enemy, the king returned to his capital. His ministers, who were very powerful and evil, exploited his wealth and his army. Deserted by his people, the king rode his horse and proceeded towards the wild. There he saw the hermitage of the sage Sumedha, which was full of tamed wild animals and the disciples of the sage. He was enjoying the hospitality of the sage for a while by wandering hither and thither. Then he thought about his capital and his subjects with love. My capital, well looked after by my ancestors, has become an orphan now without me. Those servants and mine who have turned wicked, would they be looking after my city correctly? What will happen to my pet elephant Sardamad, who is always under intoxication, who is now in the care of my enemy? Those who have remained loyal might have received money and food and may have joined forces with my enemies. The spendthrift ministers will also drain the coffers and my hard-earned resources very soon. When the king was having such thoughts, he saw a merchant sitting there. He asked that merchant, "Who are you? Why have you come to this hermitage? Why do you look so sad?" When the merchant heard the kind words, he answered modestly, "I am a merchant called Samadhi, born in a wealthy family. My children and wife have driven me out of my house because of greed. My wife and children stripped my wealth from me, and my relatives have turned their back on me. I am miserable, so I have come to the forest. Now I have no way of knowing what will happen to them. Will they be all right? What will happen to my sons? Would they follow the right path?" The king said, "Why do you have such tenderness for people who mistreated you out of greed?" The merchant said humbly, "What you say is true, but I cannot treat them with indifference. I am powerless in this regard. I still care for those who abandon me and cast aside their duties to their father and husband. O king, I don't know the reason why I am still attached to those who have gone against me. I still grieve for them, and because of this, I am troubled. How can I describe my attachment to those who do not love me at all?" Markandeya said, "O Brahmin." Then the king and the merchant named Samadhi visited the sage Sumedha for an explanation. They saluted the sage, who instructed them to take their seats. They began talking to the sage. The king said, "Lord, I need to ask you a question. Please answer this. I don't have control over my thoughts, and it is causing me great misery. Lord, I am deprived of my former kingdom, yet I am still emotionally attached to it. Why is that?" This merchant had been thrown out of his house by his sons, but he still loved them. In some way, the merchant and I remain attached to those who have wronged us, and we know that this is not right. Please tell us why we are tempted to do so despite our awareness. Why have we lost our reason? The sage said, "All animals know about this attachment. This attachment is present in all in different degrees. Some animals, like owls, are blind during daylight. Others, like sparrows and crows, are blind at night. And some animals, like tigers, cows, etc., have equal vision during both day and night. Human beings are wise, but it is not true that they alone possess wisdom. All other beings, such as animals, birds, and fish, are also wise. Human beings know what these other animals know. The knowledge of both is equal. See how these birds feed their little ones when they are hungry? Human beings love their children without any expectations. Don't you see that? Despite this, even the wisest people are tempted by this attachment, saying, "This is mine," or "It belongs to me." One should not be surprised by this. This grand illusion is a power of Vishnu called Yognidra. She tempts the whole universe. Mahamaya attracts the minds of even the wise men and tempts them. Mahamaya creates this visible and invisible universe. If she is pleased, she can give salvation to humanity. Mahamaya can liberate us, and she is the supreme knowledge. Because of her, who is the might of God? We are attached to this world. The king said, "Lord, who is this goddess you call Mahamaya? How was she born? What is her function? I want to know about her nature and her influence. I wish to learn everything from you." The sage said, "The mother goddess has always been there, but I shall tell you how she has expressed herself in different forms. She appears for the deities, but she is beyond birth and death, so she is called Nitya, one who is always there. Long ago, the whole universe had been like a vast ocean, and after the affairs of the world were complete, the god Vishnu was exhausted and enjoyed his sleep. Then 2 demons were born in the dirt that gathered in his ears. These 2 demons were named Madhu and Kaitab. They wanted something to eat, and they saw Brahmadeva sitting on the lotus that had emerged from the navel of Vishnu. When he saw those horrific demons marching towards him, Brahmadeva was frightened. He was no match for those demons. Vishnu was asleep, so he started praying to the mother goddess in the form of sleep. He prayed to the goddess of the universe, the one who bears all the worlds, the goddess of sleep, who is the glow of Vishnu. Brahma said, "O goddess of sleep, you are the basic sound. You are the sound uttered when fire offerings are made. You are the nectar in words. You are the 3 sounds. 2. You are there in the unuttered sound. You are Sankhya 3 and Savitri. The 3 Vedas were born to you. You give birth to this universe, you bear this universe, you nurture it, and finally you destroy it. In the beginning, you become the universe. When nurturing, you become the stability, and in the end, you become the destruction. You are the great wisdom, the great illusion, great intelligence, and great memory. You become the great temptation, O great goddess of the goddesses. You are the nature and the 3 qualities. You are the great stern night of time and temptation. You are the wealth. You are Reem. Intelligence and understanding are your symptoms. You are modesty, nourishment, satisfaction, peace and contentment. You have a sword in your hand, Kadgini, and a lasso, Shulini. You look terrifying, Gora. You have a mace, Gadini, and a circular weapon, Chakrini. You have a conch, Shankini, and a bow, Chapini. You are very beautiful, more beautiful than even the most beautiful. You are the greatest goddess. More than that, O goddess occupying the whole universe, you are the power of the truth and untruth. How can I flatter you? It is beyond my ability. How can I praise you who have made Sri Vishnu, the creator, preserver and destroyer of this world, awaken? Who can? You made Vishnu, I and Mahadeva take form, so who has the power to praise you? O goddess, whom I praise thus, tempt these demons Madhu and Kaita with your power, and awaken the master of this universe, Sri Mahavishnu, and motivate him to kill these demons. The sage said, in this way, Brahmadeva praised the dark-natured goddess for waking Vishnu and slaying the demons Madhu and Kaitab. Then the goddess emerged from the ancient man's eyes, mouth, hands, heart and chest to stand before Brahmadeva. The master of this world, Sri Mahavishnu, awoke from his slumber atop the 1,000-headed snake and saw the demons. He stood up and fought with his bare hands as his only weapon for 5,000 years. Mahamaya tempted those 2 demons who had become overconfident about their might. They said to Vishnu, "You ask for anything from us." Bhagwan said, "Both of you are pleased with me, so I ask that both of you should die at my hands. I don't ask for anything else. I want only this." The sage said, Thus deceived, the demons believed that the whole universe was full of water. So they said to the lotus-eyed Vishnu, "You should kill us at the place where there is no water." The sage said. Vishnu agreed, and he put their heads on his thigh and killed them with his chakra. In this way, the goddess emerged and was praised by Brahmadeva himself. I shall tell you about her other impacts shortly. Thus concludes the first chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, a part of Markandeya Purana's sub-chapter called Savanika Manvantara, the times of Savani Manu. This chapter is named The Killing of Madhu and Kaitaba. Notes. This chapter is the first episode of the Devi Mahatmya concerning the emergence of the Mother Goddess. In Sanskrit it is Pratama Charitra. When one recites the Devi Mahatmya, they read one charita per sitting. In this episode we do not hear of any of the deeds of the Mother Goddess. The meaning of this episode is purely mystical. In it, God is sleeping after the creation of the world. There is no life anywhere. The whole world is like a dormant ocean. Then two asuras, demons, are born from the dirt in the ears of God. Here the story begins with the demons attempting to eat Brahmadeva, the creative form of the same God. The creator is frightened and he prays to the Mother Goddess in the form of sleep. This pleases the Mother Goddess and she emerges from the body of the god. As a result, the god is then awakened. The Mother Goddess is everything. She induces the god to sleep and only she has the power to awaken him. The first chapter describes all of humanity. The king, the merchant, and the sage represent us. We have strong attachments towards the people who are very close and important to us. Even when they do not care for us, we cannot sever our relationships with them. These attachments act like bonds. These bonds are found in all animals. This is caused by the Great Mother, who is at the root of everything. The king and the merchant belong to two different castes. The sage who is telling this belongs to another caste. As such, all the sections of society are represented, since they all have to surrender to the Mother Goddess. The names which are used are also significant. The king is named Surata, which means a good chariot. The merchant is named Samadhi, which means a trance-like mental state. One of the asura is called Madhu, which means honey, wine, or nectar. Initially, the asura could not be defeated, but then the Mother Goddess tempted them, and they fell prey to the temptation, culminating in their death. The middle episode, Madhyam Charjata. The destruction of Mahishasura's army. Om's for the welfare, and Hrim is the seed of Mahalakshmi. The sage said, earlier, the divine beings under the leadership of Indra fought a battle for 100 years against the demons led by Mahishasura. The demons defeated the divine beings, and after their defeat Mahishasura assumed the role of Indra IV and thus became the master of the heavens. Then the defeated divine beings took Brahma, born from the lotus, and approached Shiva and Vishnu. They described to Shiva and Vishnu the horrid exploits of Mahishasura and the dreadful defeat of the divine beings. Mahishasura had assumed the rights of the sun, the moon, Yama, the god of death, Varuna, the god of water, and all other deities, and he was using them. All the divine beings exiled from heaven by Mahishasura now roamed the earth like mortal beings. They said, "We have told you about the deeds of the enemy of the divine beings. We have come to you for help. How do we kill this demon?" When Shiva and Vishnu heard this request, they became angry, and their eyebrows twisted in anger. Then a fiery lustre emerged from the angry mouths of Vishnu, Brahmadeva, and Shiva. Another lustre arose from the mouths of the other gods, such as Indra, and combined with this blazing glow, the flames of this light spread in all directions, and it resembled a flaming mountain to the gods. This fire from the gods spread to all the three worlds and took on the form of a woman. The fire from Shiva became her face, the fire from Yama became her hair, and the fire from Vishnu became her biceps. The fire from the moon became her breasts, the fire from Indra was her midriff, the fire from Varuna became her thighs and calves, the fire from the earth turned into her buttocks. Brahma's fire became her legs, and the fire from the sun became her fingers. The fire from Kubera was her nose. The fire from Prajapati turned into her teeth. The flames of the fire god turned into her 3 eyes. The morning and evening light made her eyebrows, and the fire from wind god made her ears. The blazing light from all the gods combined, and thus made this Shiva. The gods that Mahishasura had harassed were pleased to see this goddess, born from the lustre of the gods. All of the gods presented their weapons to her. Shiva, who carries a bow called Pinak, gave her his trident. Vishnu produced his circular weapon, the chakra, and gave it to her. Varuna presented her with his conch, and Agni, the fire god, provided her with his might. Although the wind god presented her with a bow and 2 bags of arrows. The king of the gods, Indra, offered her his Vajra. Indra also handed her a bell from his elephant Eravat's neck. Yama gave her one of his time bonds. Varuna gave her a lasso. Prajapati gave her a rosary, and Brahmadeva gave her his pot of water. The sun god placed his rays in the roots of her hair. The god of time gave her a sword and shield. The ocean of milk presented her with clothes woven of gold, which would never grow old, and a garland. He also gave her a jewel worn in a crest, earrings, bangles, and ornaments for her arms. He also gifted her anklets, a necklace, and jeweled rings for her fingers. Vishwakarma, the carpenter god, gave her parashu, an axe-like weapon, various weapons, and impenetrable armor. The sea god gave her 2 garlands of lotuses, which would never wither, one to be worn on the head and one around the neck. He also presented her with a beautiful lotus to hold in her hand. The Himalaya gave her a lion as a vehicle, and also different kinds of gems. Kubera gave her a jug full of wine. Shesha, who supports this earth, offered her a garland of snakes with jewels called Naga. After being provided with ornaments and arms by the gods, the goddess laughed with a menacing roar. Her terrifying laughter was heard again and again. Her voice filled the sky with a dreadful echo. The entire universe trembled. The storms covered the sea, and the earth and mountains shook. All the gods hailed this goddess seated on a lion, and the sages, humble with devotion, started praising her. When the demons saw how the universe was agitated, they became alert and prepared for battle. "Ah, what is this?" said Mahishasura, when he saw the goddess surrounded by demons, and he leapt towards the sound of her battle cries. Mahishasura saw the goddess who had filled the whole world with her luster, who had shaken the world with her footsteps, and whose crown had brightened the sky. He saw the goddess who had shaken the netherworld with the sound of her bow, and who had thousands of hands. Then a battle commenced between the goddess and the Asuras. The conflict was so intense that it was visible from the sky in all directions. The commander of Mahishasura, the great demon Chikshura, was engaged in combat. There was also another demon called Chamar, who was fighting with 4 divisions of the Asura army. Udagra was fighting with 60,000 chariots, and Mahanu was fighting with 1 crore chariots. The demon Asiloma was fighting with 5 crore soldiers, and Bashkala was fighting with 60 lakh soldiers. Ubradarshana, surrounded by 100 crore chariots, was fighting with many elephants and horses. Bidal, surrounded by 500 crore chariots, was also fighting. At the same time, tens of thousands of other demons with chariots, elephants, and horses were also attacking the goddess. Even Mahishasura was surrounded by a massive amount of chariots, elephants, horses, and soldiers. They attacked the goddess with Toma Fibhindipal, powerful weapons, sharp blades of grass parachus, 6 and Patish 7. Some fought her with lethal weapons or attempted to bind her with lassos. Others attacked her with swords, intent on maiming the goddess. Then Chandika also used her weapons and destroyed their weapons with ease. The goddess, praised by the gods and the sages, was not affected and continued to use her weapons. Whenever the brave goddess sighed, her sighs were transformed into hundreds and thousands of soldiers. Empowered by the blessings of the goddess, they fought with Parashu, Bindipal, sword and Petish, destroying hundreds of demons. During the battle, the soldiers started beating drums and blowing conches. The goddess killed many demons with her trident, mace, wristiate, and other weapons. She slew the demons who had fainted due to the clamour of the bell. She bound others with her lasso and dragged them across the battlefield. Some were even split in two by her sword, and others fell to the ground, injured by her mace. Other demons bled when she pierced them with the pointed grass. Those whom she pierced in the chest with her trident collapsed, lifeless, to the ground. There were arrows everywhere that hit all the asuras, who swiftly followed their path of their comrades into death. Their hands were severed, throats slit, decapitated, and some even had their torsos sliced in half. Other demons had their thighs slashed. Those that the goddess had cleaved in half appeared to have only one arm, eye, or leg. Decapitated demons rose from the ground, dancing to the tune of the war instruments. The torsos picked up their heads, or grew new ones. Still holding weapons in their hands, the demons pleaded to the goddess, "Stop, stop." The corpses of elephants, horses, and lions were strewn all across the battlefield. Ruined chariots were lying beside them, abandoned. A deep, tepid torrent of blood flowed from the carnage that had devastated the Asura forces. As fire can destroy vegetation and wood in a single moment, so had Ambika destroyed the legion of demons with ease and haste. Her lion shook his mane, roaring fiercely after slaughtering the demons. The goddess and her allies were victorious and had conquered the Asura army. In return, the gods lavished them with flowers and praise. Thus ends the second chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Destruction of Mahishasura's Army. Notes: this is the second episode of the Mother's Emergence. It is also known as the middle episode, as it is the second occasion when the goddess has answered the gods' prayers. She appears whenever the evil powers are on the rise. This time, she had to vanquish the demon Mahishasura, who had taken the form of a male buffalo. Mahisha means buffalo, an animal often used in farming. The buffalo is a beast of enormous strength. Perhaps this refers to ancient times, when humans first learned agricultural skills and had attempted to domesticate wild buffalo. Women probably performed the early agricultural work and the domestication of farm animals. All the names of the demons are symbolic. For example, Ugradashna means one whose appearance is fearsome. In this chapter, we learn how the mother goddess manifested. She is eternally present and is therefore also called Nitya. In the first chapter, the goddess emanated from Vishnu's body. In this chapter, she takes form from the bodies of all the gods, and every god bequeaths something to her. The killing of Mahishasura. The sage said, "When the army of the demons was under attack, Chiksha, their commander, was so enraged that he came to fight the goddess. As a cloud rains on the peak of Mount Maruninain, so too Chiksha showered arrows on the goddess. But the goddess broke his arrows, slaying both his charioteer and horses with her arrows. She shattered the flagpole on his chariot and fired arrows at Chiksha when he broke his bow. Then the demon, who had neither bow nor chariot, was forced to fight with only his sword and shield. With his sword, Chiksha hit the lion's head and dexterously struck the arm of the goddess. But the sword broke when it came into contact with her arm. Then Chiksha took his iron spike in his hands. He threw the spike, which glistened like the sun, at the goddess Bhattakali. When she saw the spike coming, the goddess hurled her own weapon, intercepting his spike. She then slew Chiksha, cutting his body into hundreds of pieces. When their prestigious commander Chiksha was killed, Chama, who was prosecuting the gods, came to battle her astride an elephant. He attacked the goddess with all his power, but Ambika just said, "Whom?" and his attacks were aborted and rendered impotent. When he saw his power defeated, the enraged demon Chama threw his spike at the goddess, which she destroyed with a volley of arrows. Then the goddess's lion leapt atop the elephant's head, attacking it valiantly. Both the goddess and the demon then dismounted and started fighting each other. The lion pounced on the demon and, with a mere stroke of its paw, beheaded Chama. The goddess threw rocks and trees at Udogra and killed him. She maimed Karal by striking him with the ivory pommel of her sword. The infuriated goddess crushed Uddhata with her mace, slew Bashkala with her bindipal, and killed Tamra and Antaka with her bow. The Parameshwari, supreme goddess, massacred Ugrasya, Ugravirya, Mahanu, and Trinetra with her trident. She decapitated Bidala with her sword and slew Durdhara and Durmukh with arrows. When Mahishasura saw his army being destroyed, he assumed the form of a buffalo and began attacking the soldiers of the goddess. Mahishasura felled some with his kicks, others he struck with his tail, and some he impaled with his horns. Many perished because of his speed. His howling slew some, while others died simply from the exhalation of Mahishasura. After felling the army of the goddess, when Mahishasura pounced on goddess's lion, she became angry. The demon also became enraged, and Mahishasura dug the earth with his hooves, displacing mountains. Roaring proudly, Mahishasura aimed his horns towards the goddess. But because of his circular motions, the earth had become very soft, and Mahishasura's tail aggravated the ocean. When he attacked with his horns, the clouds broke into pieces. His breath caused the mountains to fall down onto the earth with great force. When she saw the powerful Asura attacking, her allies, the goddess, was filled with rage, and she decided to kill him. She threw her lasso at Mahishasura and bound him, but the demon relinquished his buffalo form. Mahishasura became a lion. Ambika attempted to behead him, but then he changed from a lion into a man. The goddess shot him with her arrows, but Mahishasura became a giant elephant. That elephant then grabbed her lion with his trunk, so the goddess severed the elephant's trunk with her sword. Once again, the demon assumed the form of a buffalo, agitating the whole universe. Then the furious mother of the universe, Chandika, began drinking wine, and the red-eyed goddess laughed. The demon Mahishasura, possessed of great might and vigor, resumed his battle cries and hurled mountains at the goddess. She released her arrows, and the mountains were destroyed. With her face flushed from the wine, the goddess said, "Idiots! Roar again and again, till I finish my wine. Once I kill you, the gods will shout with joy." The sage said. Thus saying, she pounced on Mahishasura and started whipping his stomach with her lasso. While she crushed him underfoot, she saw the demon emerge from the mouth of the buffalo. She stopped him with her power. Mahishasura was still struggling to exit the mouth of the buffalo when the goddess decapitated him. Witnessing the defeat of Mahishasura, the other demons fled, much to the delight of the gods. The gods and the sages praised the goddess, and the celestial dancers swayed to the songs of the Gandharvas. Thus ends the chapter called The Killing of Mahishasura. Writes, the goddess kills Mahishasura in this chapter, but is Mahishasura really a demon because he appears in various forms? Sometimes I feel that this is a battle similar to that which occurs every day in our body when microbes attack us, and the mother is akin to our antibodies. During one instance in this chapter, the goddess is drinking wine. Madhu, however, has multiple meanings. Madhu can be honey or wine. However, she is definitely not drinking honey because her eyes turn red as a result of intoxication. Moreover, this wine is given to her by the gods. The story of Raktabija is as intriguing as his name is revealing. Rakta means blood, and Bija means seed. The name Raktabija means the source of blood. Each drop of blood enables him to multiply, creating copies of himself. This could be a reference to microbacteria, which can quickly multiply from a single source into millions. EX, the killing of Nishamba. The king said, Lord, you told me the incredible tale of the goddess in which she killed Raktabija. I want to know about the trouble caused by Shumba and Nishumba after the fall of Raktabija. The sage said, after the fall of Raktabija and the death of many demons, Shumba and Nishumba became extremely angry. Watching his powerful army being annihilated, the frenzied Nishumba bit his lips in rage and rushed forward to kill the goddess with his forces. The demons who were in the front, back, and both sides angrily surrounded the goddess, gritting their teeth as they prepared to slay her. Even the valiant Shumba with his mighty army fought with the other forms of the goddess and came to murder Chandika in anger. They fired arrows at the goddess, and in return the goddess showered arrows on them. It was like two clouds raining on the earth. Such was the scope of the war between them. Chandika quickly destroyed their arrows, but her weapons wounded the demons. Nishumba, with a shield in one hand and his sword held high, struck the lion, the vehicle of the goddess, on his head. When she saw her lion wounded, the goddess attacked and broke both the sword of Nishumba and his crescent-shaped shield. After his shield and sword were smashed, Nishumba threw another powerful weapon at the goddess, which she cleaved in two with her chakra. Nishumba became furious and reached for his lasso, but the goddess punched him and destroyed it. Then he threw his mace at the goddess, but she destroyed it with her trident. When Nishumba advanced on the goddess with an axe in his hand, the goddess felled him by releasing a volley of arrows. Watching his valiant brother falling unconscious on the ground, the enraged Shumba appeared, intent on killing the goddess. He was standing in his chariot, and he raised his 8 arms, all holding weapons, so that they filled the whole sky. When the goddess saw him coming, she blew her conch and made a loud, unbearable noise. Then she rang her bell, filling all the directions with its sound, eclipsing the army of demons. Her lion roared wildly, and its howling filled the air, frightening everything. Kali raised herself to the sky and beat the earth with both her hands. The noise engulfed all other sounds. Shivduti laughed excitedly, and the demons lost their nerves. Shumba became extremely angry. When Ambika said, "Stop, stop, O wicked one," the divine beings in the sky shouted, "Victory to thee!" Shumba came forward and threw a potent weapon, blazing with fire. When the flames rose, the goddess threw meteors on it and extinguished the burning weapon. Then Shumba roared like a beast and stunned the 3 worlds. The echoes of this noise dwarfed all other sounds. Hundreds of the goddess's arrows were destroyed by Shumba, and she, in turn, destroyed hundreds of Shumba's arrows. Angrily, the goddess struck Shumba with her spike and wounded him. Shumba lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground. But then Nishumba regained his senses and readied his bow to fire at the goddess, Kali, and the lion. The son of Danu, master of the demons, raised his 10,000 hands bearing weapons and overshadowed Chandika with his blades. The goddess Durga, the annihilator of the demon Durgasura, became furious. She released her arrows and destroyed Nishumba's weapons. Then Nishumba rushed forward, brandishing his mace, intent on killing Chandika. Chandika destroyed his mace with her sword. Then he raised his spike. Nishumba, who had beaten the divine beings, rushed forward with his spike. Chandika pierced his heart with her weapon. Another powerful demon began to emerge from the wound and said, "Stop." With a mocking laugh, the goddess decapitated the demon. Then Nishumba fell to the ground. The remaining demons had their throats slit by the claws of the lion or were eaten by Kali and Shivduti. Kaumari sliced the demons to pieces, and Brahmani sprinkled her water, which made the demons flee. Other demons collapsed, maimed by Maheshwari's trident. Varahi also hit many and slew them. Vaishnavi killed some with her chakra, while Adri killed others with her vajra. Many demons died, some also fled, and any remaining demons were devoured by Kali, Shivduti, and the Lion King. Thus ends the 9th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Killing of Nishumba. Notes: the evil demon Nishumba is killed by the goddess in this chapter. Interestingly, when Nishumba is slain, another demon emerges from his body and tells the goddess to stop. Was the body of the demonic Nishumba like a robot, with another demon inside it controlling the body? Both this chapter and the next one read like science fiction. Hex. The killing of Shumba. The sage said, on watching his dear brother die and the army's massacre, Shumba, who was regaining consciousness, muttered angrily, "Durga, you are so proud of your little might. You should not feel proud. You are fighting through the strength of others." The goddess said, O wicked one, I am unique in this world. There is no one like me. Watch these forms of mine as they merge into me." Then all the goddesses, led by Brahmi, joined with the body of the goddess, and only Ambika was visible. The goddess said, "With my influence I was standing here in many forms. Now I have finished it. I am alone in this battle, so take heed." The sage said. Then a war broke out between the goddess and Shumba, which was observed by both the divine beings and the demons. The deluge of arrows, sharp blades, and frightening missiles stunned all who watched the dreadful battle as the war between the goddess and Shumba escalated. Ambika hurled hundreds of divine weapons, but the demon destroyed them all with equally strong weapons. And any weapons he used were quickly destroyed by Parameshwari when she uttered Hum. The demon surrounded the goddess with hundreds of arrows, and the agitated goddess destroyed his bow with her arrows. The demon held a powerful missile in his hands, but the goddess destroyed it with her chakra. Then the demon took a sword and a shield, decorated with hundreds of lunar symbols, and attacked the goddess. As Shumba strode toward her, Chandika shot her arrows and tore his sword and shield to pieces. She also killed the horses with the charioteer. After the horses and the charioteer were slain, Shumba took a giant Mudga 30 in his hands. But as he was pouncing, the goddess destroyed his Mudga. Despite this, the demon pounced on her with a raised fist and punched the goddess's chest. In retaliation, the goddess hit him with her palm. The blow from her palm made Shumba stagger, but he quickly regained his footing. He grabbed the goddess and flew high into the sky. Chandika now had to fight him without any support. The sages ceaselessly watched as the goddess grappled with the demon. After wrestling with Shumba for a long time, she lifted him, spun him in circles, and then threw his body down. The fiendish Shumba stood up after his fall and lunged at the goddess, with his fists raised and ready to kill her. But the goddess impaled Shumba with her spike, and dying, he collapsed on the ground. Wounded by the edge of the blade, the demon's corpse fell to the earth. The impact of his body's landing shook all the islands and mountains. When the vile Shumba perished, the whole universe was pleased and became content. Even the sky became clear. After his death, the meteoric clouds, which bestowed ill omens earlier, were soothed, and the rivers started to flow normally once more. Thus, after the fall of Shumba, the hearts of the divine beings were delighted, and the Gandharvas began to sing sweetly. Others also commenced playing musical instruments. The Apsaras danced, and the sun took on a special glow. Thus ends the 10th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Killing of Shumba. Note: Shumba was undoubtedly a mighty warrior. He was almost equal to the goddess in power, but when evil and good forces come into conflict, the good always prevails. Once Shumba declared war on the goddess, his fate was sealed. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, "If Mother gets angry on you, no power on the earth or beyond can save you." That means Shumba was a real fighter. He never surrendered and died fighting with the goddess. Exine, the praise of Narayani. The sage said, after the great demon was slain, Indra and the other divine beings, led by the fire god Agni, beamed with joy and brightening the four directions, commenced praising the goddess Katyayani. Be pleased, O goddess, who removes all the troubles of the people who have taken asylum with you. Be pleased, O mother of the world. Be pleased, O master of the world. Be pleased, and protect this universe. You are the master of the movable and immovable world. O goddess, with great valiance, you are the support of this world because you are settled in the form of Mother Earth. You nurture these worlds as water. You are Vaishnavi, with unlimited valor. You are the essential seed of the universe and the fundamental nature of the universe goddess, and you lure the entire world. When you are pleased, you give salvation. O goddess, all the branches of learning, all arts, and all women are factions of you. O mother, you have filled the whole world. How can we say anything better than this to praise you? O goddess, The Vedas have described you as omnipresent, the bestower of wealth and salvation. What more can be said about you? We salute you, O Narayani, who lives in all beings as intelligence and bestows heaven and salvation. We salute you, O Narayani, who are the most sanctified amongst sanctified, giver of prosperity, and protector of the people who take asylum with you. We salute you, O Narayani, who is in the form of all arts, gives measures of time, and has the power of merging the worlds. We salute you, O Narayani, who are the most sanctified amongst sanctified, giver of prosperity, and protector of the people who take asylum with you. We salute you, O Narayani, who are the primary cause of the genesis, nurturing, and destruction of this universe, and who are the most ancient supporter of the three qualities, but who are beyond these qualities. We salute you, O Narayani, who are always ready to protect those who take asylum with you, and who remove the troubles of all. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of Brahmani, sitting in an airship driven by swans, and killing the enemy by sprinkling water from the puja pot. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of Maheshvari, adorned with a trident, crescent, great snake, and sitting atop a big bull. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of innocent Kaumari, with enormous power and surrounded by peacocks. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of Vaishnavi, adorned with conch, chakra, mace, and sharing. 31. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of the sanctified boar, who is holding the earth with its tusks and wields a vast chakra in her hand. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of Narsini, half lion, half female, who slaughtered the demons and protected the world. We salute you, O Narayani, in the form of Aindri, with 1,000 glistening eyes, with crown and vajra, who destroyed the army of the demons and slew Vrutrasura. We salute you, O Narayani, as Shivduti with a terrifying form, who shrieks and has massacred the grand army of demons. We salute you, O Narayani, as Chamunda, who has a horrifying appearance because of her teeth, who is adorned with a garland of human skulls, and who annihilated Mundasura. We salute you, O Narayani, as Lakshmi, Laja, Mahavidya, Shraddha, Pushti, Swada, Dhruva, Maharatri, and Mahamaya. Bless us, O Narayani, as Saraswati manifest in intelligence, the great Lakshmi, dark-natured Babhravi, bestower of luck, Ishwari. Protect us from the great terrors, O Durga, who is manifest in all, the master of the world and all powers. O Katyayani, let your beautiful face with 3 eyes protect us from the 5 elements. O Bhadrakali, let your fierce trident, which crushed the demons, protect us from all fears for all eternity. O goddess with the bell that beat the demons with its sound, protect us like a mother protecting her children. We salute you, Chandika. Let your sword, bathed in the blood and flesh of demons, work for our welfare. If you are pleased, you destroy all ailments, and if you are angry, you destroy all gifts. Those who have taken asylum do not have any fear, but they can give asylum to others. For Ambika, you are one, but you took many forms to fight the demons, who are the enemies of the just. Who else can do that? The 64 branches of learning, the 6 sciences, the theosophical books, the Vedas, the great sentences. 32. All these help us, but none can free this world from the darkness of ignorance. Wherever there are demons and poisonous cobras, wherever there are enemies and thieves, wherever there is a great fire, or we are in the deep sea, you are there to protect and nurture this world. You protect this universe, so you are the master, Vishvaswamini. You bear this universe, so are the soul of the universe, Vishvatmika. The supporters of the universe are humble before you, so you are worshipped by the universe, Vishvavandya. O goddess, be pleased with us. As you protected us by killing the demons, protect us from our enemy forever. Annihilate the disasters born from the sins of this world. O goddess, who removes the troubles of the entire universe, O adorable to the universe, be pleased with them who have prostrated before you in devotion. Be benevolent, to all. The goddess said, O gods, I am eager to bestow boons. Whatever you wish for the welfare of this world, do ask. I shall give it to you. The gods said, O master of the three worlds, as you annihilated our enemy and removed our troubles, do this in the future also. The goddess said, In the 28th section of Vaivasvata Manvantara, 33 more incarnations of Shumba and Nishumba will emerge. Then I, born to the cowherd Nanda and Yashura and living on the Vindhya mountain, shall annihilate them. Again, I shall appear in a terrible form on this earth in the same era and annihilate demons named Viprochita. When I devour those demons, my teeth will be red like pomegranate seeds. Then gods in heavens and the mortals will praise me, addressing me as Raktadantika, one with red teeth. Then there will be drought for 100 years. I shall appear again after the invocation by the sages. I shall look at the sages with 100 eyes, so people will praise me as Shatakshi, one with 100 eyes. Till it rains again, I shall nurture this world with the vegetation born from my body. Then I shall be known as Shakambari, 34. In the same era, I shall kill a demon named Durgasura, and my name Durga Devi will be renowned in this world. Again, I shall appear in a terrible form to protect the sages and slay the demons. Then the sages will prostrate themselves and praise me. I shall be famous as Bindevi then. When a demon named Aaron brings strife to the three worlds, I shall appear in the form of innumerable six-legged insects. I shall obliterate that demon, and people will praise me as Brahmari. 35. Thus, whenever the demons cause trouble in this world, I shall appear and eradicate them. Thus ends the 11th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Praise of Narayani. Notes. This chapter features praise from the gods again. The mantras are powerful. However, in my opinion, the Mother Goddess listens to prayers in every language. The goddess reveals to us in this chapter that she will emerge in the future, but these forms are mystical. There is a mention of Nanda's daughter. According to legends, Krishna was born in prison. Kansa was going to kill him, so his father, Vasudeva, took the child to Nanda's house. Nanda's wife had given birth to a female child. He brought that child to the prison. When Kansa came to murder the child in the morning, the child escaped his grasp, and the Mother Goddess appeared. It was this child, born to Nanda and Yashoda, who is called Nanda. This part was either composed after the Bhagavata or after the Krishna cult increased in popularity. Another mysterious form is Brahmari. She manifests in the form of thousands of bees and will be called Brahmari. Later, she will appear as vegetation to nourish the world and will be called Shakambari. XII, the sentence of the goddess. The goddess said, Whoever praises me with these Narayani stotra will have all his troubles removed by me. Whoever recites the slaying of Madhu and Kaitaba, the felling of Mahishasura, and the killing of Shumba and Nishumba will also be protected. Those who listen with devotion and concentration about my greatness on the 8th, 9th, and 14th day of the fortnight will be absolved of all sins. No calamity born of sins will emerge, they will not experience poverty, and their nearest and dearest ones will never part from them. They will not have any fear of the enemy thief or the king. They need not fear weapons, fire, or water. So, all devotees should read or listen to this stotra, which explains my greatness with total devotion and concentration. The reading or listening of this greatness will annihilate all troubles and the three kinds of agitations. I never leave this place and always dwell wherever people read this or listen to this systematically while offering sacrifice. The offering of sacrifice, worship, and the fire ritual should be accompanied by the reading or listening of this stotra which speaks of my greatness. I accept with affinity all sacrificial worship, performed knowingly and unknowingly, and the fire ritual accompanied by recitation or listening. In the season of Sharad 36, one should listen to this and receive my boon. The devotee will be free from all troubles, and their coffers will be filled with money and grain. There is no doubt about that. When one listens to these praises, my benevolent emergence and my courage in battle, that devotee becomes free from all fears. After listening to this, all enemies are annihilated. The devotee prospers, and his or her clan keeps on growing. If one must pacify situations, if one has nightmares or is afflicted by inauspicious stars, 37 they should listen to my greatness. Then all is alleviated and nightmares become dreams of good omens. When a child is suffering from epilepsy, when people cannot reach an agreement, this stotra helps. This stotra calms the nerves of sinners. Just by reading it, the evil spirits like demons, ghosts, etc. are obliterated. Thus, this stotra about my eminence brings one into proximity with me. Whatever rewards are achieved by offering the best of animals, flowers, offerings, incense, lamps, along with feast to the Brahmins, fire rituals, water rituals, and other consumables offered to me for 1 year, are also achieved by simply reading or listening to this stotra, which relates my greatness. If one listens to the stories of my emergence or sings about them, their sins are removed, they become healthy, and they are protected from dangerous animals. If one listens to how I killed the wicked demons on the battlefield, there is no fear of enemies. Whenever you or Brahmadeva sings praises, they also will bestow excellent judgments by reading. If one is caught in a forest fire, if thieves surround one in a deserted land, or if one is tied by enemies, if an elephant, lion or tiger is chasing one, if one faces the death penalty or is being taken to jail or the gallows, if one's boat is caught in a stormy sea, or one is facing an enemy armed with powerful weapons, and if one is suffering from any other kinds of trouble or is in pain, they are freed from all problems if they just remember this part. If one just recalls my saga, then lions and thieves will run away from him. The sage said, "The great and valiant goddess Chandika spoke thus and disappeared while the divine beings looked at her. As their enemies were annihilated, the gods started receiving their portions from the fire ritual and returned to their duties. When the demon Shumba, who possessed incomparable valor, was about to destroy the world, and the mighty warrior Nishumba was dead, the remaining demons returned to the netherworld. In this way, O king, even if the goddess is always present, she manifests in a form to protect and nurture the world. This world is tempted by the illusion of the goddess, and she is the creator. If she is pleased, she bestows wealth, and if you pray to her, she provides mystic knowledge for you. O king, with her forms as Mahakali, Mahadevi, and Mahamari, she has filled the entire universe. In the beginning, she was Aja, one who is never born, and at the time of being, she nurtures all living creatures. At the time of the deluge, she is Mahamari. In all ages, she is Sanatani. When one is progressing, she is Lakshmi, who provides prosperity, and when one is experiencing failure, the goddess becomes Alakshmi, 38. If one worships her with praise, offering flowers and incense, she systematically bestows wealth, children, righteousness, and finally, salvation. Thus ends the 12th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Sentence of the Goddess. This chapter emphasizes the importance of the entire book. Almost every Sanskrit text bestows the different kinds of fruits, rewards, that one obtains after reading, reciting, or listening to the content. It is said that unless one finishes with the Falshruti, the fruits of this stotra, then his or her ritual is not complete. Excerpt from Granting Boons to the King and the Merchant. The sage said, "In this way, O king, I have narrated the exquisite emergence of the goddess to you. The goddess who bears this world is all-powerful. She, who is the illusion of Lord Vishnu, provides the knowledge of salvation. She tempted you, this merchant, and many others who had a solid sense of purpose. She will tempt many more in the future. O king, surrender to Parameshwari. When people worship her, she bestows wealth, heaven, and salvation." Markandeya said, "When he heard that sage who had done difficult penance, King Surata saluted that great soul. O great sage, the king who was sorrowful due to the loss of his kingdom, and the merchant who was sad because of his kindred, immediately went to do the penance. Seeking the immediate appearance of Amba, the king and the merchant began to do penance on the sandbank of the river by reciting the Devi Sukta. They sculpted the goddess's idol from mud and worshipped her with flowers, incense, and other offerings like the fire ritual. They concentrated on her by controlling their organs, practicing total fasting, and offered her sacrifice decorated with their blood. After performing penance of 3 years with total devotion, the mother goddess Chandika appeared in person before them. The goddess said, "Whatever you wish for, O king and O high-born one, I shall grant your wishes gladly." Markandeya said, "The king asked for a vast kingdom in his next life, and for his enemy to be destroyed, since he had lost his kingdom in this life." The merchant had realized that there was no point in owning anything, as he had practiced renunciation, so he asked for eternal knowledge. The goddess said, "O king, you will regain your kingdom shortly. You will defeat your enemy, and there will not be any trouble for you in the future. When your time on this earth is over, you will be born again to the sun god, and you will be famous in this world as Sawani Manu. O great merchant, I will grant you your request. You will acquire the knowledge of salvation." Markandeya said, "After granting them boons, the goddess, praised by those two, disappeared. In this way, the great Kshatriya King Surata, after obtaining the boon from the goddess, will be born again to the sun god and will become the 8th Manu named Sawarni." Thus ends the 13th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called Granting Boons to the King and the Merchant. This Devi Mahatmya is a part of Markandeya Purana's Savanik Manvantara. Note, this chapter is the last, and it speaks of the merchant and the king obtaining their desires. The king wanted his lost kingdom, but the merchant had grown weary of the world's affairs, so he asked for knowledge and was granted that. This chapter tells us how Savani Manu was born. He was one of the 14 Manus, who were the first men and also lawgivers. We find the mention of Manu in the Rig Veda. He is equated with Vivasvat Manu in the Vedas. Vivavisvan is the name of the sun god. Vivasvat Manu, therefore, means son of the sun god. Interestingly, Savani Manu was the son of Savana. He is called Savani after his mother. The Rig Veda says that he was a great king and had a very generous temperament. It is befitting that the Devi Mahatmya tells his story because he is known after his mother. The armour of the goddess. Divikavacham. There are armours for different gods. In Sanskrit they are called kavachas. If you wear them, you are protected. There is Ramraksha, Datta Kavach, and Shiva Kavach. The various names of a god are recited to protect different parts of the body. Of all the kavachas, Devi Kavacham, or the armour of the goddess, is the most comprehensive. The sage of this kavacha is Brahma. The meter is Anustub. The presiding deity is Kamunda. Omd Markandeya said, "Grandfather, tell me the secret which has never been told, which protects human beings from all sides." Brahmadeva said, "O sage, listen to the armour of the goddess, which is a well-kept secret and is beneficial to all beings. In this armour there are 9 Durgas. The first is Shailputri, the daughter of the mountain, Parvati. The second is Brahmacharini, one who observes celibacy. The third is Chandrajanta, and the fourth is Kushmanda. The fifth is Skanmata. The mother of Skanda is Parvati. The sixth is Katyayani, the daughter of the sage Katyayana. The seventh is Kalratri. The eighth is Mahagauri. And the ninth is Siddhidatre, one who gives the desired fruits. These are known as the 9 Durgas, and the Vedas have divulged these names. One who is imprisoned by fire, one who is surrounded by enemies on the battlefield, one who is stranded in a remote, inaccessible place, and is frightened receives sanctuary from the mother goddess. And nothing happens to them in war, nor any other kind of trouble. I do not see any fear or grief coming to them. Whoever remembers Navadurga with devotion receives fruition, rewards." Chamunda riding on a corpse, Varahi riding on a buffalo, Adri riding on an elephant, Vaishnavi riding on an eagle, Maheshwari on a bull, Kaumari who has a peacock as a vehicle, Lakshmi sitting on a lotus, holding a lotus, and who is the beloved of Hari, Ishvari in her white form riding on a bull, Brahmi adorned with many ornaments and riding on a swan, all these forms of the mother goddess are embodiments of motherly feelings. They possess a conch, circular weapon, mace, power, sharp grass, a plough, tomar 39, cross axe, and a lasso as their weapons. In addition to this, they also have a spear, a trident, a vajra, 40 parried sword, petish, and mudga. They bear these weapons to slay demons, protect their devotees, as well as protecting the welfare of the gods. One only has to meditate upon the forms of the goddesses and recite the armor of the goddess to fulfill all desires. Let Aindri protect me from the east, and the fire goddess protect me from the southeast. Let the south be protected by Varahi and Kadegdarini from the southwest, let the west be protected by Varuni, and let Mistarugvahini protect the northeast. Let my north be protected by Kauberi, and let Shol Harini protect the northwest. Let the upper direction be protected by Brahmani, and let the lower be protected by Vaishnavi. Let all 10 directions be protected by Kamunda, who rides a cadaver. Let Jaya be before me, and Vijaya be behind me. Let Ajita be on the left side, and Aparajita on the right. Let my tuft be protected by Diotini, and let Uma remain in my head. Let Maladari protect my forehead, and Yashaswini protect my eyebrows. Let my eyes be protected by Shankini, and let Dwavasani protect my ears. Let Kalika protect my cheeks, and Shankari protect the base of the ears. Let Sugandha remain in my nostrils, Churchika in my upper lip, Amrutkala in the lower lip, Sarasvati in my tongue. Let Kaumari be in my teeth, Chandika in my throat, Chitragantha in the bone of the throat, Mahamaya in the hollow of the head, and protect them. Let Kamakshi protect the chin. Let Sarvamangala protect my speech. Let Bhadrakali remain in my neck, Dhanurdhari in my spinal cord. Let Kadigdarini remain in my shoulders, Vajradharini in my biceps, Dandini in my hands, Ambika in my fingers, and protect them. Let Shulishvari protect my nails, Nalishvari my armpits, and let Mahadevi, who removes all grief in the mind, protect my nipples. Let Lalita Devi remain in my heart, Shulharini in my stomach, Kamini in my navel, Guishwari in my anus, and protect them. Let my private parts be protected by Bhutnatha, Meghvahana protect my thighs, and let Bhagvati remain to my west, Vindhyavasini to my knees, and protect them. Let Mahabala, who grants all wishes, protect my groin. Let Narsini protect my ankles, and let Amithuti protect the back of my feet. Let Shridhari protect my toes. Let the soles of my feet be protected by Talwasini. Let Danstrakarali protect the toenails, and let Urdvakeshini protect my hair. Let Kalbari protect the roots of body hair. Let Vagishvari protect my skin. Let Parvati protect my blood, bones, nerves, flesh, and fat. Let Kalratri protect my intestines. Let Mukutswari protect my pancreas. Let Padmavati live in the cocoons of lotus in my body and protect them. Let Chudamani protect my kapha 41. Let Javalamukhi protect the fire of my nails. Let Abedya protect the joints. Let Brahmani protect my semen, and let Chatreshvari protect my shadow. Let Dharmadharani protect my ego, mind, and intelligence. Let her protect my 5 pranas, Pran, Apan, Vyan, Udan, and Summon 42. Let Yogini protect my 5 senses, touch, sight, smell, noise, and taste. Let Narani protect my 3 qualities, Sattva, goodness, Raha, moderate, and Tama, dark. Let Varahi protect my lifespan. Let Vaishnavi protect my religion 43. Let all mothers protect my success, fame, and wealth. Let Indrani protect my clan. Let Chandika protect my animals 44. Let Mahalakshmi protect my sons. Let Bhairavi protect my wife. Let Nanashwari protect my wealth. Let Kalmari protect my daughters. Let Kshumakari protect my path, and let Vijaya always remain with me and protect me. Let whatever is remaining unprotected by this armor be protected by the absolver of sins, Jayanti. O Brahma Rishi, 45 because of your devotion I have given you this all-protective and wish-fulfilling armor, which is a vital secret. If one wants to save oneself, one should not take a single step without protecting one's body with this armor. If this armor covers one, wherever he goes, he obtains wealth and wish-fulfilling victory. Whatever wish he has, it will be fulfilled by the recitation of these armor mantras. He becomes the richest man on this planet. This armor of the goddess is unattainable even to the gods. If anyone reads it 3 times in a day after being purified, they will achieve divinity. They will become unconquerable and will live in this world for 100 years. If one reads this armor, any abscess, smallpox or ailment is cured. Any poison of either the immobile, plants, mobile, reptiles or artificial creation, chemicals, is neutralized. Black magic, the effects caused by insects or small creatures living in the earth or sky, and any other incidental troubles are also negated. Innate or hereditary problems, the trouble caused by Shakini, Dakini, planets, spirits, yakshas, Gandharvas, and Rakshasas are likewise removed. If one has the armor in his mind, Brahmarakshasa, 46, Vital, Kushmand, and Bhairav disappear. If the devotee reciting the armor is a king, his fame grows and he attains success in the land, adorned with his glory. One has to read these armor mantras first and then read the 700 mantras of the Devi Mahatmya. He automatically gets the fruits of reciting Chandi mantras without any effort. But yet, in Chanti mantras, Shuta says that it is a very difficult matter to teach. In the Vedas, there is also a description of the gods becoming intoxicated from the consumption of soma, IV, the praise by Indra and the other gods. The sage said, "When the goddess killed the terrible demon and defeated his army, the gods were very pleased. Bowing their heads and shoulders, they humbly saluted the goddess and started praising her with sweet words. We salute with devotion the goddess Ambika, who was born from the luster of the gods, who has occupied this whole earth and who is adored by all gods and sages. We ask for her blessings. One whose incomparable influence and prowess are indescribable to Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, may Ambika give us the reason to nurture this universe and remove the fear of demons from our minds. You who are Lakshmi in the homes of good people, are Lakshmi 10 in the homes of evil people, the intelligence of wise people, the devotion of saintly people, and the humility of the high-born, we salute thee. Take care of this world. O goddess, how can we describe your incredible form, or your valor in killing the demons, or the different events in the war between gods and demons? You are the primary cause of this world. You have 3 qualities, yet even Vishnu or Shiva could not fathom you. You support this world with a manifestation of 1 fraction of yourself, because you are that supreme fundamental nature. The word Svaha, which is uttered in the fire sacrifice and satiates the gods, is you. The ancestors are satiated because of you. That is why they call you Swada. You undertake different, incredible observances, and you are the reason for salvation. So you are the science of Brahma. Those who seek salvation control their bodily organs, free themselves of all vices, and meditate on you to understand the divine principle. You are the Word. You are the essence of the 3 Vedas, the base of them, and the sound Om. You are the 3 Vedas, who bless the 3 worlds, and you remove the problems of these worlds. 11. You are Meta 12, who understands all branches of learning. You live in the heart of the killer of Kaitapa, Vishnu, and are called Lakshmi. You are Shiva's consort, called Gauri, and as Durga, you help us cross this ocean of worldly life. You have a slight smile on your face, which equals the full moon, fresh and shining like gold. Despite that, Mahishasura attacked you, which is a wonder. Your face is like the rising moon, but when Mahishasura saw your eyebrows raised in fury, he didn't surrender, which is an even greater wonder. Who lives when confronting the god of death? O goddess, be pleased with us. If you are pleased in a particular way, you bless, and if you are angry, you destroy. We know this because you eliminated the colossal army of Mahishasura. Whenever you bestow prosperity, you are pleased with devotees, who become famous in all the countries. Their wealth and fame continue increasing, their relatives are never sad, and live their lives with loyal servants, sons, and wives. When you bless them, these good beings continue to perform their duties as given in the scriptures and finally reach heaven. In this world and the other world, you are the one who provides the best rewards. 13. Even if somebody remembers you unknowingly, you remove his or her fear, and if somebody remembers you consciously, you bestow him with the intelligence to prosper. Who can be kinder than you who bless all, O remover of poverty, sorrow, and fear? Now that the demons have been slain, let the world be pleased. They may have committed evil deeds and are now condemned to hell, but they died fighting on the battlefield, so you give them a great afterlife in heaven. Could you not burn them to ash just by a glance? Why did you kill them with your weapons? Because you feel that those demons, sanctified by your weapons, should go to heaven. The demons were not affected by the luster of your sword or the glow of your spike because they were looking at your beautiful face, which shone like a rising moon. You possess a nature that removes the destructive tendencies in bad people. Your incredible beauty, your courage in killing those demons who had beaten the divine beings is excellent, and yet you remain sympathetic towards the enemy. O benevolent goddess, how can we compare to your valor? Where can we behold such incomparable beauty that is fearsome to the enemy? You possess sternness in battle and kindness of heart, the two opposing qualities in you. We salute you, you who protected the three worlds by defeating the Asuras. You sent them to heaven and removed the fear from our minds. Protect us with your spike, protect us with your sword, protect us with the noise of your bell and the sound of your bow. O Chandika, move your spike to the east, to the west, and protect us. Move your spike to the south and the north and protect us, O Ishwari. Your various forms, some of which are mild while others are fierce, will protect us and the three worlds. Ambika, protect us from all sides with your sword, mace, and spike held in your tender hands. The sage said, In this way the divine beings praised the goddess, the mother of the universe, and worshipped her with sacred flowers from heaven and incense. After burning the incense, they stood humbly before the goddess, who spoke pleasantly to them. O gods, you can ask for anything from me. The divine beings answered, Bhagavati, you have done everything for us. Nothing has been spared. You have destroyed our greatest enemy, Mahishasura. If you wish to give us a boon, then promise us that you will appear and solve our problems whenever we remember you. And, O goddess with a lovely face, whoever worships you with these words will be blessed by you with wealth, prosperity, and welfare. It will increase every year as you have blessed us. The sage said, O king, the goddess who had appeared because of their prayers said, So be it, and disappeared. O king, I have told you how the goddess who made the three worlds happy emerged from the bodies of the divine beings. Again, she emerged from the body of Gauri to defeat Shumba and Nishumba. I shall tell you how the goddess, favouring the divine beings and protecting the three worlds, emerged. Listen to this. Thus ends the 4th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya called Praise by Indra and the Other Gods. The praise of the gods is regarded as being very powerful. If one recites this regularly, the mother goddess is pleased, and she takes care of her devotee. The original Sanskrit mantras are extraordinarily potent and possess an excellent rhythmic pattern. In terms of poetic composition, they are also highly formidable. However, I believe that if one has devotion and faith in his or her heart and prays to the goddess in any language, she will answer that prayer. The conversation between the goddess and the ambassador. Om is the seed of welfare and Kleem is the seed of Mahasarasvati. The sage said, Earlier, the Asuras Shumba, Nishumba and their powerful army usurped a portion of the fire sacrifice which belonged to Indra and the other gods. These two demons began to perform the duties of the sun, the moon, Kubera, 14, Yama 15 and Varuna 16 in their own way. They enjoyed the wealth of the wind god and the fire god. All the defeated gods were exiled from their thrones and heaven. Then those gods whose rights had been usurped by the two asuras remembered the undefeated goddess. She has promised us that whenever we remember her, she would solve all our problems. Thinking about this, all the gods went to the great mountain Himalaya and started praying to Vishnu Maya devotedly. The gods said, "We salute the goddess, we salute Mahadevi, we salute Shiva 17, we salute Bhadra. Humbly we pay our obeisance. We salute Rauda 18, we salute Nitya, Gauri and Dhatri again and again. We eternally salute Jyotsna Indurupini 19 and Sukha 20. We are humble before Kalyani 21. We bow again and again before the wealth-giving Vrudhi 22, boon-giving Titi 23 and Kumi 24. We salute you in the form of Nairuti, Rajlakshmi and Shavani. Again and again salutations to Durga, Durgpara, Sara, Sarvakarini, Kyati, Krishna and Dumra. We bow before the very beautiful Samya 25 and the terrible Atyarodra. We salute these forms. We salute again and again to Jagat Pratistha and Krita Devi. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings and is called Vishnu Maya. 3 salutes the goddess who is in all beings as vitality, Chetna. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as intelligence, Buddhi. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as sleep, Nidra. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as hunger. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as shadow, Chaya. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as power, Shakti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as thirst, Trishna. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as forgiveness, Kasham. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as caste, Jati. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as blushing, Laja. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as peace, Shanti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as implicit faith, Shraddha. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as luster, Kanti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as wealth, Lakshmi. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as a quality of mind, Vruti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as memory, Shmuti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as compassion, Daya. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as contentment, Tushti. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as mother, Matru. 3 salutes to the goddess who is in all beings as illusion, Bhranti. We salute the goddess who is at the base of all beings' organs and who has occupied all beings. 3 salutes to the goddess who has occupied the whole universe as the life force. The benevolent Ishwari, whom we had prayed to with Indra and served every day for our cause, shall bless us and remove all our problems. Now, harassed by the evil and formidable Asura, we worship the power of the goddess, who, as we have remembered, shall destroy all of our problems instantly. The sage said, "O Prince, when the divine beings were praising and praying, Parvati came there to bathe in the Ganga river. This alluring woman with glorious eyes and beautiful eyebrows said to the divine beings, 'Who are you praying to?' Then the goddess Shiva, who had emerged from the body of Parvati, said to her, 'These divine beings, defeated in battle by Shumba and banished from heaven by Nishumba, are praying to me.' After this, Ambuka emerged from the bodily cocoon of Parvati, and she was called Kaushiki 26. Parvati told Kaushiki what to do and departed. After her departure, Parvati became black in colour and started living in the Himalayas as Kalika. Then Shumba and Nishumba's servants Chanda and Munda saw that Ambika, or Kaushiki, now had an exquisite form. The pair told Shumba, 'Lord, there is an extremely beautiful lady who is brightening Himalaya with her beauty.' "O king of demons, we haven't seen anybody prettier than her. Know that she must be a divine lady and possess her. That woman who is brightening all the directions is a jewel among females. So, O king of demons, you must take a look at her. Lord, you have a fine elephant, a fine horse, and jewels from the 3 worlds that increase the splendor of your house. You took from Indra the elephant Airavata, Ucheshra the horse, and Parijata the divine fragrant tree. You have an incredible chariot adorned with the finest gems drawn by swans that previously belonged to Brahmadeva. This is now in your custody. You took from Kubera endless treasure, and the ocean gave you a garland which never withers. You took Varuna's umbrella and its golden rain. The great chariot of Prajapati is in your house. Yama's mighty weapon Utkrantida was taken from him by you. Varuna's lasso is with your brother. Whatever gems are created by the ocean are with Nishumba. The god of fire gave you 2 fine robes, purified in flame. You have obtained all these jewels, so why do you not possess this fine jewel among women?" The sage said, "When Shumba heard this from Chanda and Munda, he sent a great demon called Sugriva as his ambassador to the goddess, saying, 'You tell her these things, and convince her in such a way that makes her come to me voluntarily. I command you to do this as soon as possible.' The ambassador went to the majestic Himalaya where the goddess was sitting and talked to her in a sweet and soft voice. The ambassador said, 'O goddess, the king of demons, Shamba is the greatest one alive in all the 3 worlds. He has sent me as his ambassador. He has conquered all his enemies, so his word is the last even in the divine worlds. Listen to what he has said. All the 3 worlds belong to me. All the gods are under my command. I take the offerings from the fire sacrifice in different forms. All the best jewels in the 3 worlds are in my custody. I have taken away Indra's vehicle, the jewel among elephants called Airavata. When the ocean of milk was churned, a jewel among horses called Ucheshra appeared, which the gods have dedicated to me humbly. O goddess, the jewels of the gods, Yakshas and Nagas, are now mine. We regard you as a jewel among women, so please come to us because we adore jewels. O goddess who glances, accept my great valiant younger brother Nishumba or me because you are a jewel among women. If you accept me, you will accept immense wealth. Consider this carefully and accept me." The sage said. When the ambassador said all this, the benevolent goddess Durga, who bears these worlds, smiled to herself and said seriously, "You speak the truth, you do not lie. Shumba is the master of the 3 worlds. Nishumba is also great. But in this matter I have taken an oath. How can I go back on that? Listen to the promise I made with little thought. Only the one who defeats me in battle can destroy my pride, and the one who is equal to me in prowess will become my husband. So let the great demon Shumba or Nishumba come here, defeat me, and take my hand in marriage. Why should there be any delay?" The ambassador said, "You have become arrogant. You should not speak to me like this. Who in all the 3 worlds could possibly confront Shumba or Nishumba? Even the gods cannot equal these asuras in battle. How could a lone woman like you stand against them? How can you, a single woman, face Shumba and other demons whom even Indra failed to defeat? In my opinion, you should go to Shumba and Nishumba peacefully. Otherwise, they will drag you to them by your hair, which is undignified." The goddess said, "You are correct. Shumba is very powerful, and Nishumba is equally bold. But what should I do? I made this oath earlier without paying heed to the consequences. So, go and humbly convey my words to the master of the Asuras. Let him decide the appropriate course of action." Thus ends the 5th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Conversation Between the Goddess and the Ambassador. Notes. In this chapter, the goddess emerges from the body of Parvati, who is Shiva's eternal consort. The Asuras are Shumba and Nishumba. The patterns seen here are similar to those previously conveyed. The gods have been defeated, and demons have usurped their rights. Here the goddess is described as being exceptionally beautiful. She is also described as being a jewel among women. In the dialogue between the goddess and the ambassador, the dialogue is clever, especially when the ambassador tries to convince the mother to come with him. VI. The killing of Dhumalochana. The sage said, when the ambassador heard this, he became furious and went to the king of demons to relay the message in detail. After listening to the ambassador, the king of demons became furious and spoke to Dhumalochana, the commander of the demon army. Dhumalochana, go with your army and bring me that awful woman. Make her writhe in pain and drag her to me by her hair. If anybody comes to protect her, kill him without giving a thought to who he is. He might be a god Yanksha or Gandharva. The sage said, by order of the king, Dhumalochana immediately went back to her with an army of 60,000 demons. He saw the goddess resting on the Himalaya and shouted, come to Shumba and Nishumba quickly. If you do not come voluntarily, I shall drag you forcefully by the hair, causing you great pain. The goddess said, the king of demons has sent you. You are strong and are surrounded by an army. If you are taking me forcefully, what can I do? The sage said, when she said this, Dhumalochana pounced on her, but the goddess burnt him to ashes with the sound, whom. The demon army immediately started attacking Ambika by bombarding her with sharp arrows, weapons, and parachute. Then the vehicle of the goddess, her fierce lion, roared loudly and shook his mane. He assaulted the demons. He slew some demons with his claws and his mighty teeth. Others he crushed with pure strength. He disemboweled them with his talons and beheaded others with his jaws. He severed the limbs of others and then, shifting his mane, drank the blood of the dead. That great lion, the vehicle of the goddess, easily defeated the army of demons. When he heard that the goddess had killed Dhumalochana and her lion had destroyed his army, the king of demons became furious. His lips quivered with rage as he issued orders to the demons, Chanda and Munda. Chanda, Munda, raise a massive army and bring that woman to me immediately. Drag her by her hair, bind her, and bring her to me. If anything suspicious occurs, kill her with your weapons. Kill that awful woman and her lion, or capture Ambika and bring her here. Thus ends the 6th chapter of Devi Mahatmya, called The Killing of Dhumalochana. In this chapter, the demon's name is Dhumalochana. Dhumra means smoke, and Lokan means eyes. Therefore, the demon has eyes like smoke. Does this symbolize extinguishing the fire by blowing? This chapter hints at some of the things the goddess does. Moreover, the demon is killed simply by uttering the sound hum. Hum is a sacred word. It is said that the mother goddess resides in this sound. Interestingly enough, this sound is also considered to be holy in other religions. The killing of Chandra and Munda. The sage said, thus ordered by Shumba, the demon army with 4 divisions, led by Chanda and Munda, proceeded forth to capture the goddess. They saw the goddess atop the golden peaks of Himalaya, riding the lion with a smile on her face. When they saw her, the arrogant demons raised their swords and other weapons. Some even approached and tried to seize her. Then Ambika became furious. Anger blackened her face. From her forehead emerged the wrathful Kali, holding a sword and a lasso in her hands. She held a staff in one hand with a human head upon it. She wore a garland of human skulls around her neck. Her countenance was intense because the flesh of her body was withered and desiccated. Her mouth was wide open, and her protruding tongue made her frightening to behold. Her eyes were bloodshot, and her terrifying shrieks echoed from all directions. Arriving thus, she proceeded to slaughter the demons and started devouring their army. She lifted the elephants with the mahouts on them, the bells, and the back guards, and put them in her mouth. She lifted the chariots with horses, charioteers, and the warriors, and put them in her mouth, grinding them viciously between her teeth. She dragged some demons by the hair and others by the neck. She kicked some to death, and others held swords to her cheeks, saying, "Help! Help!" Her arms. Whenever arrows were shot at her, she devoured these also and angrily broke them. She destroyed the entire army of the Asuras. She swallowed some and maimed many. Some perished by the sword, some by the Katwanga 27, and others died because of her sharp teeth. When he saw the demon army rapidly annihilated, Chanda arrived to engage in battle with Kali. He launched many arrows and circular weapons at Kali and literally eclipsed her. Then dreadful Kali opened her horrifying maw. She howled loudly and laughed at Chanda. Kali took her great sword and pounced on Chanda, grasping him by the hair as she proceeded to behead him. When Munda saw Chanda dying, he came to combat Kali, but she lifted her blade and decapitated Munda also. When they saw that Chanda and Munda had been slaughtered, the remaining demons became frightened and fled the battlefield in all directions. Then Kali, holding the heads of Chanda and Munda in her hands, went to Chandika. With a thundering laugh, she said, "In this fire sacrifice of battle, I killed these two beasts and have brought them to you as a present. You will kill Shumba and Nishumba yourselves." The sage said. When she saw the heads of Chanda and Munda in her hands, that benevolent Chandika said to Kali in a sweet voice, "O goddess, as you have come with the heads of Chanda and Munda, you will be famous in this world as Chamunda." Thus ends the 7th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya called The Killing of Chanda and Munda. Notes: this chapter informs us of the emergence and nature of Kali. She is an aggressive form of the goddess. Kali wears a garland of skulls and is usually depicted with a protruding tongue. Sri Ramakrishna Paramansa worshipped her at Dakshineshwar temple. Kali appeared before him and spoke to him. Kali is a kind-hearted mother, even though her external appearance is fearsome. Kali is also known as Bhadrakali. Here, Bhadra means good. She is also called Mahakali. This chapter describes Kali as emerging from the forehead of Ambika. She is the same goddess. The goddess only appears in her wrathful form to demons and people who possess a malevolent character. The killing of Raktabajaya, the site said. After the death of Chanda and Munda, following the destruction of the demonic army, the king of the demons became furious. Because of his rage, the great Shumba was not in control of his senses, and he ordered all the commanders to ready their armies. The 86 commanders and the cunning 80 commanders of Kambu and their armies proceeded to the battleground. The 50 clans of Kotevariya, demons, and 50 clans of Domra were also instructed to proceed. I order Kalak, Daurad, Maurya, and Kalkeya to be ready and proceed. Chumba, the stern ruler of the demons, then set forth with an army of thousands of demons. When Chandika saw that terrible army marching toward her, she raised her bow, and the great sound of the bow filled the vacuum between the earth and the sky. "O king!" Then the lion roared, and Ambika increased its intensity with the sound of her bell. The shrieks of Kali, who had opened her mouth wide, was even more tremendous than the sound of the bow, lion, and bell. After hearing that noise, the demons became enraged and surrounded Chandika, the lion, and Kali from all sides. "O king!" Then, to kill the enemies of gods and provide welfare for the gods, the female forms of the gods emerged. From the bodies of Brahmadeva, Shiva, Kartikeya, Vishnu, and Indra, the goddesses emerged and approached Chandika. These new female powers had a similar appearance, ornaments and vehicles to the male gods, and were ready to combat the Asuras. First came a goddess with a rosary and the pujo pot, 28, riding a flying chariot drawn by swans. She is known as Brahmani. Riding on a bull with a trident in one hand and another hand raised in blessing, Maheshwari appeared, wearing bangles of great snakes and a crescent moon atop her head. Wielding a powerful weapon, Kalmari appeared as the female form of Kartikeya, astride a peacock. Vaishnavi appeared riding on an eagle, holding a conch, mace, chakra, and a sword. Vishnu's Shakti, the incomparable form of the boar of fire sacrifice, arrived as the goddess Varahi. The half-lion and half-human Narsini arrived, tousling her fur like constellations of stars. Holding the Vajra and seated on an elephant, Indri also arrived. Like Indra, she too had 1,000 eyes. Surrounded by the Shakti of the gods, Shiva said to Chandika, "For the sake of my love, slay these demons." Then another female form emerged from the body of the goddess, who growled like 100 jackals. And that undefeatable goddess with grey locks said to Shiva, "O Lord, you go to Shumba and Nishumba as my ambassador." So the arrogant Shumba, Nishumba and the other warmongering demons to let Indra become the master of the three worlds. Let the gods receive their offerings from the fire sacrifice. If you want to stay alive, go to the netherworld. If, idiotically, you still desire combat and foolishly take pride in your military prowess, then do come to me, and let my jackals draw contentment from devouring your flesh. As the goddess appointed Shiva as her ambassador, she became famous as Shiva Duti, 29. When the demons heard the message from the goddess that Shiva relayed, they were outraged, and went to the place where Katyayani was standing. They shot arrows at her, and attacked the goddess with swords. She drew her bow in return and destroyed all their weapons. Kali went ahead and roamed the battleground, wounding the enemies with her trident and Katwang. Ramani sprinkled water from her puja pot and disabled her foes. Ayendri killed many with her vajra, and the demons fell to the ground with blood flowing from their bodies. Barahi attacked them with her teeth and her chakra, disemboweling her opponents. Nasini, who was stunning the world with her roars, eviscerated the demons with her claws and stalked the battleground, devouring them. The terrifying laughter of Shivduti horrified the demons so much that they fainted, and she consumed their bodies. The soldiers of the mother goddess were furious, and they pursued the demons as they attempted to escape the wrath of the goddess. Raktabiha, a powerful demon, saw the other demons fleeing the battlefield and came to fight. Whenever any drop of blood fell from his body onto the earth, another demon emerged from it. When he was fighting Aindri with his mace, she struck Raktabija with her vajra. This wound made Raktabija bleed profusely. Each drop of blood gave birth to a new demon that was as strong as Raktabija himself. These newborn demons readied their weapons to fight the army of the mother goddess. Andri struck Raktabija again, crushing his skull this time. Thousands of new warriors emerged from the blood. Vaishnavi also wounded Raktabija with her chakra and mace. Her chakra also pierced Raktabija, and so many demons were born from his blood that Kaumari hit Raktabija with her most potent weapon, Varahi struck him with her sword, and Maheshwari impaled him with her trident. Raktabija, born in a Diti clan, was now also enraged and began to strike the various forms of the mother goddess with his mace. Whenever a weapon hit him, torrents of Raktabija's blood would flow like a river, from which thousands of new demons were formed. The demons born from Raktabija blood now covered the entire earth, and the divine beings became frightened. Chandika, when she saw the apprehension of the gods, laughed and spoke to Kali. "Kamunda, open your mouth wide. Whenever I wound Raktabija, you must quickly drink his blood. Do not let it fall on the earth. Then devour all the other demons on the battlefield. Once Raktabija's blood has been drained completely, he will perish and the war will end. No more demons will emerge." The goddess then struck Raktabija with her lasso. Kali started drinking his blood. With great agility, the demon struck Chandika with his mace, but Chandika was not injured. Blood gushed from Raktabija's body like a fountain, which Chamunda drank with her mouth. More demons were born from that blood in Chamunda's mouth, but she simply swallowed and consumed them along with Raktabija's blood. Then Kaushiki attacked Raktabija, whose blood was still being devoured by Chamunda, with her lasso, sword, arrows, vajra, and rusty. When he had been completely drained of blood, all these weapons struck the mighty demon Raktabija as he fell to the ground. Then, O king, the gods were pleased, and the various female manifestations of the gods danced, intoxicated with Raktabija's blood. Thus ends the 8th chapter of the Devi Mahatmya, called The Killing of Raktabija. Notes: this chapter explains the emergence of the various forms of the goddess, which are all aspects of mother goddess worship. It illustrates how people perceive different deities and the feminine forms of the male gods. It is an attempt to merge all cults into a similar belief system. The central figure is Shiva, therefore worship of the goddess was probably a development of the existing Shaivite sect. Interestingly, Shiva's son Skanda, or Kumara, is mentioned, but Ganapati, his second son, is not. Kaumari is the female form of Kumara, whose vehicle is a peacock. Therefore, the Devi Mahatmya may predate the Ganapati cult, also known as Ganapatya, as the text contains no mention of Ganapati. As long as this earth remains, with its mountains, woods, and forests, his sons, grandsons, and other descendants will continue living. After his death, he receives an eternal status by the grace of Mahamaya, which is unattainable even to the gods. The Triad of Secrets. The main secret. Pradhanako Rahasiam. The sage is Sumedha. The meter is Anustuba. The presiding deity is Adishakti Mahalakshmi, to be read after the Devi Mahatmya. The king said, "Lordy, you have told me about the different incarnations of Chandika. Now tell me about her fundamental primary nature. O Brahmin, which aspect of the goddess should I worship? What is the method for it? Tell it to me who is humbly asking you." The sage said, "O king, this is an important secret which should not be told to anyone. But you are my devotee, as well the goddess's devotee, so I cannot keep anything from you. The fundamental nature of this universe is the great goddess Mahalakshmi, who has an aim and has three qualities, but her unaimed essence has occupied the entire universe. O king, she bears in her hands a matuling, a mace, a betel pot, and a ket. On her head she bears a serpent, a linga, and a yoni. She has a lustre like molten gold. She has filled this world, which was a vast void, with her shining warmth and purified ornaments of gold. When she saw the void of the world, she adopted another form with her dark Tama quality. She became like black soot with fangs, but she was beautiful, with her widened eyes and narrow midriff. She held a sword, a betel pot, a skull, and a shield in her 4 hands. She had a garland of skulls around her neck and her head. Mahalakshmi said to that dark-natured woman, "I shall give you names and duties accordingly." The names are Mahamaya, Mahakali, Mahamari, Kushuddha, hunger, Trusha, thirst, Nidra, sleep, Equera, Kalratri, and Duratyaya. These names are allocated to you according to the duties of the names. Anyone who recites these names with the duties attached to the meaning becomes happy. Thus saying, "O king, Mahalakshmi took another form with her good sattva quality, which was white like the moon. She held a garland of flowers, an elephant goad, Veena 51, and a book in her hands. Mahalakshmi bestowed that great woman with names. The names were Mahavidya, Mahavani, Bharati, Vak, Saraswati, Arya, Brahmi. Then Mahalakshmi said to Mahakali and Mahasarasvati, 'Now you create pairs the same as you.' Mahalakshmi created a splendid couple like the core of gold seated on a lotus. Mahalakshmi called the male Brahma, Vidi, Virench, Dat, and called the woman Shri, Padma, Kamala, and Lakshmi. Mahakali and Mahasarasvati also created their pairs. I shall tell you about their appearance and names. Mahakali created a pale man with a blue-coloured throat and reddened biceps who wore a crescent atop his head, and an equally pale woman. That male is Rudra, Shankara, Sthanu, Kapadi, and Trilochana 52, and the woman was Vedrayi, Vidya, Kamdhenu, Bhasha, language, Swara, noise, and Akshara, letters. And Mahasarasvati created a pale woman and a dark man. I shall tell you their names. The names of the male are Vishnu, Krishna, Rishikesh, Vasudeva, and Janardana. The woman was Uma, Gauri, Sati, Chandi, Sundari, Subhaga, and Shiva. In this way, the 3 goddesses, Mahalakshmi, Mahasarvati, and Mahakali, obtain their male forms. Only wise people know this. The others, who create discrimination, do not know this secret. O king, Mahalakshmi gave Vedatrai as wife to Brahmadev, Varadaguri as wife to Rudra, and Shri as wife to Vasudeva. Brahmadeva created the egg containing the universe with the help of Sarasvati, and the valiant Rudra broke it with the assistance of Gauri. Then, O king, in the egg containing the universe, different functions, the movable and the immovable, and the 5 elements appeared. Vishnu nurtured the universe with the help of Lakshmi. In this way, Mahalakshmi, who has no beginning, has mastered all gods and goddesses. She is inherently formless, but according to her function, she adopts a form and bears various names. Many different names can describe her, but the formless goddess cannot be described by any name. The Secret of Transformation. Baikaruthian 54. The sage said, I told you the main secret of the 3 qualities of the goddess, namely Triguna, Rajasi, Tamasi, and Sattviki. She is also called Shava, Chandika, Durga, Bhadra, and Bhagavati. Brahmadeva, seated on a lotus, prayed to the goddess who had taken the form of sleep to kill Madhu and Kaitaba. She is called Dark Nature Mahakali. She has 10 heads, 10 hands, and 10 legs. She appears terrible because of her shining teeth and fangs, but even then, O king, she is the presiding deity of beauty, welfare, luster, and wealth. Wielding sword, arrow, mace, lasso, chakra, conch, and bushudi, she holds a Parif 59A bow and a severed head in her hands. She is the illusion of Vishnu, and even though it is challenging, once she is pleased, she gives all the universe to her devotee. One who emerged from the bodies of the gods, she is the shining Mahalakshmi of the 3 qualities who killed Mahishasura. She is fair. Her hands are blue, her breasts are white, her midriff, legs, and thighs are red. She is in an intoxicated state. Her middle part is of many colours, like this earth. She wears colourful garlands, ornaments, and dresses. She enjoys many kinds of scents and fragrances. She possesses beauty, good luck, and luster. Anyone who worships Mahalakshmi, representing all gods, will become the master of all the people and gods. She has thousands of hands, but only 18 are visible. And she is very charming. She holds the following weapons in her hands: a garland, a lotus, an arrow, a sword, a vajra, a mace, a chakra, a trident, a parashu, a conch, a bell, and a lasso. She also has a staff, a shield, a bow, a betel pot, and a puja pot in her hands. She is seated on a lotus. The one who emerged from the body of Gauri has only goodness as her quality. This is the killer of Shumba, known as Mahasarasvati. O king, she is the bearer of Shula, and in her 8 hands she holds a chakra, an arrow, sharp grass, a conch, a bell, a plough, and a bow. Anyone who worships this goddess, the killer of Shumba and Nishumba, is given all knowledge by her. O king, I have told you all about the different forms of the mother. Now I shall tell you how to worship the mother and her different forms. When you worship Mahalakshmi, worship Mahakali at the south, and Mahasarasvati to the north, and the 3 couples behind. Place Brahmadeva with Sarasvati in the centre, place Shiva and Parvati on the right side, and place Vishnu and Lakshmi on the left, and keep 3 idols in the front. In the centre, the goddess with 18 hands. To the left, the goddess with 10 hands. To the right, Lakshmi with 8 hands. The 3 are to be systematically worshipped. When worshipping the goddess with 18 hands, worship the goddess with 10 hands to the south, and the goddess with the 8 hands to the north. When worshipping the goddess with 10 hands, worship the god of time in the south and the god of death in the north to remove all obstacles. When worshipping the killer of Shamba, the goddess with 8 hands, Nava Durga 60 and Rudra Vinayaka should be worshipped. Mahalakshmi should be worshipped with the mantra Namo Daivye. When one is worshipping Mahakali or Mahasaraswati, the mantras uttered to invoke them in the Devi Mahatmya should be recited. You should worship the goddess with 18 hands who killed Mahishasura because Mahalakshmi is called Mahasarasvati and Mahakali. Anyone who worships Mahishasura who is the presiding deity of good deeds and sins and the goddess of all the world, becomes the master of this universe. Chandika, who bears all the worlds and who is very kind towards her devotees, should be worshipped with offerings of water, flowers, fragrant pastes and ornaments. There should be incense, oil lamp and food offerings. Kshatriyas 61 like you can offer meat with blood and wines also. One should bow again and again, should take water, sandalwood paste and betel with camphor. One who has become one with the goddess, the demon Mahishasura with the severed head, should be worshipped at the front of the goddess to the left. The lion of the goddess, who is in all movable and immovable beings, who represents the duties and is very powerful, should be worshipped to the right side. Then one should fold his hands and invoke the goddess with all 3 episodes, or only the middle episode, Madhyam Charitra. It should not be either only first, Pratham Charitra, or only the best episode, Uttam Charitra. No biography should be left incomplete. Leaving it incomplete will produce obstacles for the devotee. Alternatively, one can recite the stotras and praise the Mother of the Worlds. One should circumambulate, prostrate and fold his hands and, with a conscious mind, ask for forgiveness from the goddess again and again. Offer sesame with ghee to the fire after reciting the mantras, or do the fire ritual with Chandi mantras, and honor Chandika for well-being. With a peaceful mind and folded hands, bow before Chandika to establish her in your heart, and meditate on her for a long time to become one with her. Anyone who worships the goddess like this daily lives well, and after death unites with the goddess. Anyone who does not worship this Chandika, who is very kind towards her devotees, has all the benefits of his good deeds burnt by Parameshvari. So, O king, systematically worship Chandika, who is the master of all the worlds, and you obtain all the pleasures of this world. The secret of the idols. Mortia Rahasyam. The sage is Sumedha. The meter is Anustuba. The presiding deity is Mahalakshmi in the form of Nanda. This stotra is to be recited after the Devi Mahatmya. The sage said, anyone who worships Nanda, who would be born to Nanda, the cowherd king, should praise her with stotras and meditate on her. Then everything in the 3 worlds will be given to him. She shines like gold and wears lustrous golden clothes, adorned with a gilded belt and golden ornaments. She holds a lotus, an elephant goad, a lasso in her 4 hands, and is seated on a golden lotus. She is called Indra, Kamala, Lakshmi and Shri. I have told you about Raktadantika. I shall tell you about her nature, which removes all fears. She wears red clothes and her complexion is red. She is decorated with red ornaments and bears red weapons. She has red eyes and red hair, which makes her terrifying to behold. She has sharp red nails, red fangs and red hands, but she bestows affection on her devotees like a devoted wife. She is broad like this earth and her breasts are large, like the mountains of Meru, and are very plump and attractive. With her firm, beautiful and lovely breasts, she satisfies the thirst of her devotees. This goddess carries a sword, a betel pot, sharp grass and a plough in her hands. She is also famous as Raktachamunda and Yogeshwari. She has occupied the entire universe, so one who worships her also occupies the movable and immovable universe. Anybody who praises the body of the goddess Raktadantika is rewarded by the goddess like a wife rewards her beloved husband. Shakambhari has blue skin, eyes like a blue lotus, a deep navel and a flat tummy with 3 folds. She has firm, round and plump breasts. She has arrows in her lower right fist and a lotus in her upper hand. She sits on a lotus. She holds vegetables in her hands with leaves, flowers, fruits and roots full of juice which remove all hunger, thirst, old age and death. Parameshwari bears a lustrous bow. Shakambhari is also famous as Shatakshi and Durga. If one praises, worships, recites the names or meditates on Shakambhari, he or she immediately receives an infinite supply of food and drinks. The one with blue luster, shining fangs, wide eyes and oval-shaped plump breasts is Bhima Devi. She holds a sword, a drum, a human skull and a wine pot in her hands. She is the one who fulfills all desires and is also known as Ekvira and Kalratri. Because of the aura around her, it is difficult to see the goddess, for she also has a multicolored luster and holds multicolored bees in her hands. She is praised as Brahmari and Mahamari. O king, if you praise Chandaka's idols as I have told you, they become Kamdenu 62. This narration concerning the divine idols is highly confidential, and you should never tell anyone about it. But you can read it or recite it with your full attention. I have told you how to meditate on the goddess, which is a secret even among other secrets, and is all wish-fulfilling. Preserve this in your heart. A prayer for forgiveness. After reciting the Devi Mahatmya, one must recite this prayer again and again. There may be mistakes in the recital, which could anger the goddess. Therefore, with total concentration, one has to read or recite this prayer. After all, she is the mother, so she will definitely forgive her devotee. I commit thousands of mistakes every day. O Parameshvari, forgive me assuming that I am but one servant of thine. I do not know how to invoke you. I do not know how to conclude. Forgive me, Parameshvari. I do not know how to worship also. O goddess, I have performed the worship without proper mantras, without rituals, and without devotion, but let it be perfect in my case. There is no sinner like me, and there is no absolver of sins like you. Knowing this, O Mahadevi, do whatever you want to. Even after committing hundreds of mistakes, if one says, Jagadam, O Mother of the World, he reaches a state which is unattainable even to gods, like Brahmadeva. O Mother, I am a defaulter, but I have surrendered to you. Please be kind to me. Mother, do as you will. Whatever wrongs I have committed due to ignorance, forgetfulness, or by accident, please forgive me, Mother, and be pleased. Kameshwari, Mother of the World, embodiment of goodness, inner mind and ego, accept this puja kindly and be pleased. While reciting, I may have missed a syllable, word, or another inflection. Forgive me, O Goddess, for that. Any lapse, such as punctuation or notes, may have been wrong. Forgive me, O Goddess, for that. Siddharcha Vinjaka Stotram. This is a powerful stotram to invoke the Mother. This is woven around the mantra Om Aim Hreim Klem Khamundai Vishe. Shiva said, O Goddess, please listen to the excellent Kunjika Stotram. Because of its mantric power, it immediately rewards one with the fruits of worshipping the Mother. You need not read the Kawacha, Argala Stotram, Kilakam, or any of the secrets. No suktas, nyasas, 63, nor any other rituals are required. If you recite the Kunjika Stotram, you receive all the fruits of Durga worship. This is a vital secret. It is unattainable, even to the gods. Parvati herself generated this stotram. This stotram, when recited, can kill, and like magic, it can make a person yours, cause anything to stagnate, and remove anything instantly. I salute thee, Mother, in the terrible form who killed the demon Madhu, the killer of Kaitaba. Salutations to the goddess who killed Mahishasura. I salute the Mother who killed Shumba, the annihilator of Nishumba. Awaken, Mother, and bring fruition to my prayers. As Aim you are the universe, and as Hechrim you look after the world. As Klem you are the embodiment of desire. I salute you as the source of everything. As the killer of Chanda, you are Chamundayai, which denotes you as a bestower of boons, Yamyayi meaning you are a protector. I salute you in the form of mantra. Damhem Dum, as one with dreadlocks and wife. Vam Vim Vum, as the supreme goddess of the spoken word. Kram Krim Krum, as the goddess Kalika. Sham Shim Shum, bring good to me. Hum 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 Kar, as the sound Hum. Jam Jam, as the sound made in pride. Bram Bream Broom, as the good Bhairavi. I salute you, Mother Bhavani. Come. Tam tam kam yam sham vim doom aim kam. Sham, gather at the edge of the sound thee. Gather, enkindle, and consume this. Pam Pim Pum as the perfect Parvati, Came Kum as Kachari 64 Sam Sum Sum as the goddess in Saptashati. I implore you to bring about the effects of these mantras. This Stottaram is used to awaken the mantras. O Mother Parvati, maintain its secrecy and do not give it to non-devotees. If one reads the 700 couplets without reciting Kunjika Stotram, it is of no use.